Bears fans, YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Bears Fans Talk. Johnny CMD here as always with the main event, Kevin Haggerty. And big news, we've been gone for a little while. We're the last one to break this, but Ben Johnson is the next head coach of the Chicago Bears.
It's true.
But first, Kevin,
Yeah.
how are you? First of all.
Yeah, good.
Good.
Off season. We're winding down the football season a little bit here. We got one more meaningful football game left, which is Super Bowl, which
Debatable.
yeah, I mean it's probably like the worst matchup you can ever have.
It's not the one we won last year. I wish we would have done this. This year when we got to the championship rounds.
The one we wanted.
We kind of talked about like the one. What would have been the one you wanted?
I mean, obviously Washington and the Bills. Like
Obviously, I did not want.
You didn't want Washington and the Bills? That would have been great.
I wanted definitely to.
Eagles and Bills.
Oh, wait, you know what? I forget the lines were out of it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would have been the best iteration of it, as opposed to the Eagles and the Bills.
It would have. I mean, anyone but KC would have been good.
You know what? Let's circle back on that.
Okay.
Let's circle back on that because there's been a lot of that going around.
Yeah.
Rigged, tired of KC,
yeah.
Comparing this legacy. Like, there's so much. I guess we're getting into this now. There's so much revisionist history, and like I feel like there's so much being like, everyone loved the Patriots. I'm like, I was sick of the Patriots. I didn't want to see them go.
No. It's what's the word? Recency bias is what it is.
Yeah.
Like people like when you're in it, and then like everything always gets more glorified over time.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're in the even just like vacations, right? Vacations get better in time. I feel like when you reminisce about them and you think about them later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even like when you have a kid, like the first few months suck.
Mm-hmm.
But like you kind of forget about that when you're 2 years out, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we could do it again.
Yeah, but like,
and then you get in it, you're like, oh shit, I remember why I didn't like this.
But yeah, like the idea that like the Chiefs are just this actually really annoying team.
We're gonna look back.
Did we forget about like the Patriots having a legitimate cheating scandal and the fact no one wanted to see Tom Brady win another Super Bowl?
Dude,
like,
that's what I'm saying. We're gonna look back on this though when the next dynasty comes, the Chicago Bears, and we're gonna be like, man, KC, wasn't that a great dynasty back then?
Exactly.
And it just takes time.
And it is. And here's the thing:
it's impressive.
It's like there's like not everyone's like dissecting that stupid Josh Allen's 4th and 1 call, like whatever. Refs get shit wrong sometimes, and
but they reviewed it though.
It wasn't even just so egregiously wrong.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see like a shot of that ball definitively crossing that line.
The thing is,
personally, maybe this is a bad take.
Yeah, the thing though is that like I think about KC, what annoys people is like Patrick Mahomes is much less likable than Tom Brady.
I don't get that.
It's the voice. It's the voice.
Nah.
It's the way he walks. It's the fact he puts ketchup on steaks. It's his wife. It's his brother.
I'll give his wife and his brother. I mean, yeah, this is
it's just like he just, in my opinion, Patrick Mahomes does not have a good aura. Like, it's not my kind of aura. Like, that's not like the vibes that I like because he sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody was looking at Tom Brady unless the very end of Brady's career. I think the fact that Brady,
it was cool. He was a late round pick. It was like literally like pick 201 or whatever he
Mahomes
was.
Was like the fourth quarterback off the board.
Still in the first wund. Wait, who's the first quarterback off the board?
I don't think we need to beat a dead horse on that one anymore. Who else was though?
Deshaun Watson.
Wow.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, and why is Josh Rosen or they got Arizona, I think, took him. I don't know why it's sticking out in my head.
Patrick Mahomes, QBs drafted.
I don't know why.
Draft class.
I don't know why that's sticking out to me. Not John Ross, that's for sure. Oh, he's already in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
Who?
I'm kidding. Patrick Mahomes. Which, by the way, like, if he gets this three-peat, it's going to go down as...
So this draft was Myles Garrett,
Good.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yep.
But then who the hell was Solomon Thomas?
No idea.
Leonard Fournette.
Solid.
Corey Davis.
Bust.
Jamal Adams.
Pretty good. Bust.
Was he?
Jamal Adams is really good.
Okay. Mike Williams.
Yeah, he's all right. CMC.
No, Mike Williams... Mike Williams is currently catching passes for Baker, right? Am I thinking of somebody else?
No, Mike Williams he's
on
the Jets.
CMC.
Yeah.
CMC went 8. Wow, that's crazy.
And then he went to Pittsburgh.
John Ross, I have no idea who that was. Okay, so I guess it was only the third quarterback off.
He ran like a 4.40.
So I guess Mahomes is only the third quarterback off the draft.
Who else was in the draft? Anyone else I know? Any other quarterbacks in the first round?
Deshaun Watson was after Mahomes. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyone else? No other quarterbacks.
Nobody in the first round.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I knew it was Mitch and Deshaun and Patrick were in that class.
Myles Garrett, number 1 overall that year, huh?
Yeah, he was, I mean, dude, he made that play. Oh no, I'm thinking of Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney, where he knocks him out and palmed it and then ran it back.
And then sat the entire year. That was just like that weird class. Anyways, though, I'm excited for like. The other thing too, I think people don't like is honestly the whole Travis Kelce, how big he is.
Again, okay, he would like.
I'm just saying, like Taylor Swift. I'm just saying what the haters can hate.
I know, but I just don't think.
That was a Taylor Swift.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't hold water in my mind, and I think it's mostly just people just like glorifying Tom Brady. Nobody likes dynasties. Nobody wants to see a team that's won it again win it again, and that's totally fine.
Dynasties sell. Dynasty sell.
You're right. You're right. And then I think that kind of brings to the second point of this is people really think that the NFL is just so much invested in. But you know what? Like you talk to an average NFL fan, you're right. They don't want to see it, but
they still watch it.
Yeah, the average NFL fan will still watch versus the passive NFL fan being like, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes isn't it? I'm not going to see the Taylor Swift."
Yeah.
I don't know. None of the Bills players are in State Farm commercials. What the.
But Josh Allen, I mean, who's his girlfriend or his fiance? She's a cutie, Haley Steinfeld or something.
Oh, did we talk about this? We have talked about this. I do like Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, and Josh Allen's a likable dude, and like he's kind of like got that American bad boy vibe going on. Like he does like the hair thing. Like
doesn't move units. That's why they didn't give him the first down.
I mean, and then who's the
Josh Allen? You want to win some games against Patrick Mahomes? Start moving some fucking units, man.
Wait, who's the
get out of the gym and move fucking units.
Mac Hollins, the guy who calls shoes feet prison, that guy would have been great on Media Week.
I guess.
I'm just saying, like they have some characters on the team that would have made it. Anyways, whatever.
There's just like no arc to this Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean Barkley.
Is this the worst iteration of the Super Bowl that we would have chosen? I guess the best would have been.
No, as Bears fans. If Washington would have made it to the Super Bowl, it would have like almost established Caleb as a bust to everyone outside of Chicago.
Yeah, by like just by comparison.
Yeah, like it just would have ruined. It would have like it would almost would be impossible for Caleb to ever live up to that. And like I just watching Daniels play, like he is like he processes well, he makes good throws, like he is a bona fide superstar.
I do think KC versus Washington in my mind would have been a little bit more like ugh, because I think I would have hated like the whole storyline, like first rookie quarterback ever,
yeah, dude.
And then like they would get stomped by the Chiefs
for sure.
I do think that I've never been a huge like Jalen Hurts fan, but the Saquon Barkley, I'm happy to see him in the Super Bowl. I like this. I'm excited to see what he can do.
I think as a fan of football in general, you have to like the Barkley story, especially after everything that came out with the Giants. Like,
yeah, and he's just been dominating. It's good to see just some like good old fashioned like run game bell cow guy.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah. No, so I mean that's
he's fun to watch.
That's cool. Yeah. So I mean I think that's the reason I think they could ultimately win this game.
The Eagles.
Yeah.
It's a 1.5 spread. I mean.
Yeah, they're underdogs, though, right?
Yeah, they are. And, like, I mean, dude, I just think the NFL wants the Chiefs to win. Like, they want Travis to propose. Like, I joked about it last year, but, like, that's what they want. And, like, even just, like, the probability of it occurring, like, just, like, them talking about it.
It would never happen.
How about this?
It's so ridiculous.
Great. Can I just,
I'll stop watching. I'll never watch another Super Bowl if something like that happens.
Let me make this analogy. So do you remember the DNC, the Democratic National Convention? Everyone was saying that, like, Beyonce was going to play at the DNC. Do you remember hearing that?
Sure.
But, like, it made this aura around the DNC. Like, Beyonce's going to play, Beyonce's going to play, Beyonce's going to play.
I have never given a fuck about any of the national conventions.
But a lot of people do care about that stuff. And then, like, hang on, just let me tell you, there was, like, this whole, like, far little, like, left-wing people or right-wing people were saying that they started it because Beyonce was never going to play. The point is that, like, hang on, this is, like, total rabbit hole stuff. What I'm trying to say, though, is the fact is that when you spread a rumor like that, it's great for the NFL because it makes people watch because there's someone who wants to see it. Does that make any sense at all? Do you hear what I'm saying?
Comment down below if you want to see Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift.
I just went down a rabbit hole. You know what? You got me on these conspiracy theories earlier. Right. You were talking about some space stuff earlier, and Animorphs, and you got me all messed up in my head.
I know, dude. I mean, yeah, it's easy to just kind of like, I think when you get in the
put the tinfoil
the tired state of mind, look up the Kelly Hopkinsville Goblins encounter. Just look it up. It's great. We just got done watching an episode of X-Files.
Great show, by the way. Good production value for 96.
I don't know. The episode didn't hit home, but that, you know.
But it's good production value.
Check out our X-Files podcast for more. But anyway, this is the Chicago Bears podcast.
I was going to say, let's get back.
And Ben Johnson is now the head coach of the Chicago Bears.
This is
not your guy. This is not your guy. How did you feel when that news broke?
I wasn't that upset.
There's no reason to be.
It was like, it was going to be McCarthy or it was going to be Ben Johnson. Like, anyone else would have been a follow-up.
It was never going to be McCarthy. It sounds like it was always going to be Ben Johnson.
Yeah, and it feels that way. And, like, Ben Johnson is a good hire. He is objectively, like, just, like, from around the league, he was definitely the number one candidate around. Mm-hmm. Like, I think everyone wanted a piece of him. There was a big rumor he was going to go down to the Raiders because Tom Brady was involved. Mm-hmm. And, like, I am very, very, very pleased that the Bears got him. Yeah. And, like, I think he was a great hire. I mean, the stuff I've seen, because, like, we're also, like, a week out from it already now. And, like, all the media stuff he's been doing, all the press conferences, even, like, the Instagram stuff, his family. Yeah. Like, do you remember when they were doing the Zoom interviews? And I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to do something like this. Like, it's like an all-in family thing. Yeah. Like, you want to take the family, the kids, like, and he's showing everything, all the commitment that I want to see out of a head coach. Yeah. No. And, like, that's the aura and the vibes that I want.
Yeah, so I mean, like, he came down to Hallis Hall. He seemed very excited. And he just kind of reiterated this phrase. That's exactly where we wanted to be, which is good. And you know what? Like, at the end of the day, you know, we don't know how this is going to end up working out for Ben Johnson. But I said on the Instagram, like, as of the day recording this, like, you can't criticize this move. This is a guy that everyone thinks is going to be the next hot thing, and maybe he won't be. But you can't criticize Brian Poles for that because everybody feels that way. And it also signifies, you know, to be on the positive side before I make a pessimistic comment, you know, the Bears paid him.
Yes.
So he is making more money than John Harbaugh, his previous mentor, Dan Campbell, Sean McDermott, which, whatever, fun. Mike McDonald. Where's Mike McDonald?
Mike McDonald. He's the Seattle's head coach.
Yeah, okay. And then Nick Sirianni and Matt LaFleur.
So he's making $13 million a year. So we can never...
Compared to, what was it, 3 for Eberflus?
Yeah, something like that. Which is
so 4 to 30 Eberflus is equal 1 Ben Johnson.
So here's the thing. I'm just going to say this first. It's a pessimistic view. Throwing money at a problem doesn't always fix it. Okay, that's all I'm going to say and leave it at that. But they spent money, and us as Bears fans can't call the McCaskies cheap. Yeah. So that is an accurate fact. But let me tell you who's making more money than him.
Who's making more money than him?
I just want to put it out there. Okay. Andy Reid.
Obviously.
Sean Payton. Mm-hmm. Mike Tomlin. Mm-hmm. Jim Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. Sean McVay. Mm-hmm. And then Kyle Shanahan. 5 out of 6 of those are what?
Super Bowl winners.
Okay, so you're telling me that Ben Johnson, a guy who has 0 head coaching ability, is worth $13 million. I'm just putting it out there, just putting it out there to think about.
Here's what it says to me. And at the end of the day, I don't give a shit how much the Bears spend. So, you know, it's not coming out of the salary cap. It's just coming out of their pocket. So as a fan, you could pay them $1 billion. I don't care. Yeah. But it shows a commitment to winning that other franchises in the city do not seem to have.
That's a fair point.
With you know, football being over, there's just so much talk on the radio about basketball and just like how miserable the Bulls are. They don't seem to have any direction.
College basketball is fun. I've been watching a lot of it.
Have you been?
Dude, I've been getting into Big East basketball.
Just specifically Big East.
Big East
because Syracuse.
Yeah, because they got the 4K on. So like 4K for some reason the Big East broadcasting is in 4K. So like I'm always going to pick the 4K channel, and I've been watching a ton of Marquette games. Okay, it's been awesome. Anyways, continue.
So the Bears did what they needed to do, and I do think that there's like this prevailing sentiment that it's just like, oh, we're back. Like this proves that everything is different.
I know.
But
It's a cycle.
we just got done with
Yeah,
this,
it's a
and
cycle.
I'm not ready to do it. Like Big
Yeah.
Cat was just like, this is just proof that like we're moving on to the next chapter. Like the Bears are doing things the right way. I'm like, we thought this a year ago.
I was literally gonna say,
we
John.
thought this a year ago.
So here's the
I'm just not ready to say like this proves that things are different.
Agreed. And so, like, to that point as well, I do want to talk about that because there's this concept like last season when we had like the first overall pick and the Caleb and all this optimism, and like that optimism, you can ride that optimism for legitimately 7 months.
Yeah.
And there's not a single game played.
Yeah.
And like that's all positivity, and then you really only have 4 months of shitty season, 4 to 5 months of shitty season, and then you could like cycle starts again.
Yeah.
So we get 7-8 months to feel optimistic, which at the bare minimum is great for the Chicago Bears.
Well, this is a good move.
Great move.
Maybe you could say that that's kind of signifying some optimism, but I'm going to be hypercritical of every decision the Bears make.
Yep.
Because we still have holes, which kind of brings to the next.
Wait, and before I want to go back to this really quick because I do want to ask you a question. So who is Ben Johnson's boss?
Let me counter you with a question.
Okay.
Do you believe in aliens?
I believe in extraterrestrial life forms of some sort.
Okay.
There is something greater than us.
Would you say the truth is? It doesn't have to be great. That sounds like a biblical question. Okay, that's fine. That's an answer. Anyway, what was your question?
Do you believe in aliens?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. What was your question?
Who do you think Ben Johnson's boss is?
Ryan Poles.
How much do you think Ryan Poles makes? No, this is a legit question.
Will you say that? 8 million?
I'll just tell you because I looked this up before. An average GM salary is between $3 and $5 million. Okay. Do you make double your boss?
That's interesting.
I'm just painting a picture for you just to kind of like think about it. Like these other head coaches that make that kind of substantial money, they've earned it. Okay.
But you can say the same thing about like players make more than the coaches, but the coaches are still the one that are in charge. Just because you're making more money, that doesn't make them less of your boss. Because Ryan Poles still has the authority in him today. And you know what? Ryan Poles doesn't have to do the things on a daily basis that Ben Johnson is going to have to do, like be the fucking literal face of the team and have all these press conferences. So I get it. I mean, it is kind of strange to have that kind of like...
Yeah. When you put the dynamic with the players and the coach, you kind of put it to bed. But I was also just thinking about, like, this is more of like an office setting than like a player-coach relationship.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you make more than double your boss. Like, it's just kind of like, I was like, that's kind of weird. And a lot of times with those other coaches, they report directly to the owners. So Sean Payton doesn't report to the GM or the president. Like, he reports directly to the Waltons.
Yeah, but
Andy Reid reports directly to the Hunts. Right? Like, there's like,
I think that depends on like who you are as the coach.
I was just curious.
And your philosophy. But no, but I think like at least in theory, it's Ryan Poles.
I think Ryan Poles
it's certainly
is
not the McCaskies. Like Ben Johnson isn't sitting down with what's his name, George. Like, every week to kind of talk about their plans and their direction. Like,
but he's definitely sitting down with Poles.
Yeah,
and I'm just like man, what are you sitting down and he's like making $13 million a year, and Poles is sitting over here making $5 million a year, and he's like.
Ben Johnson is just like, I just flew my family in from our place in Turks and Caicos, and Ryan Poles is just like, sorry, I just heard the microwave, my ramen's done.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, kind of like a different dynamic, like completely different. It's like
got Maurichin, and like and Poles is like got like just and Johnson just got like the pho.
Yeah, dude.
Like my Postmates is here with the pho from.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a different type of income. So I thought that was funny. We can move on to the holes in the team. But
so I mean, here's the thing: it's just like we were so blinded, but by the things that we had to be optimistic about these draft picks.
Yep.
So
I've heard a lot about this.
Yes, but here's the thing. Here's what needs to happen, which is just not happened. So we've all praised. I don't even think the draft has been that bad. I mean, you can make the argument that Poles is drafted pretty bad. But one thing that he hasn't even like dipped his toe into is like there's been no big free agency hires.
None.
And I'm surprised
because he wants to. He has been very vocal about wanting to build through the draft.
But we still got this cap space. At least I think I do. The cap space is so fucking confusing.
Dude, I don't get it. They released a new cap, which is like 5% higher than what they anticipated it to be. Dude, I don't understand.
I gotta believe we have money.
No, dude, I know.
And we got to make a splash.
Yeah.
And I think this, is like the first thing I want to hear is that we sign some blue chip. We haven't had a blue chip offensive lineman since Kyle Long, and like even he was having. And I think he made some Pro Bowls, right?
I don't think Kyle Long was.
I think he was blue chip. Kyle Long.
I think who is the center? Garza. Matt Garza.
Roberto Garza.
Yeah, Roberto. He was a blue chip.
I don't think he was better than Kyle Long.
Dude, Kyle Long was not. Who put blue chip in their Pro Bowl?
3 consecutive Pro Bowls.
Was he
and
really?
1 second team All Pro.
Okay.
That's it. I call that blue chip. I don't think Garza had that kind of resume. Roberto Garza. I don't see, nothing pops up when I type in Pro Bowls, career stats.
No photo even, huh?
There you go, man. I think that tells you all you need to know. But we do know he was 310 pounds, 14 years. It's a solid NFL career.
It's a great NFL career.
So yeah, we need to make some big splashes in free agency.
Yep.
The draft has got. I mean, but like we won't know in the moment if the draft is any good. We'll just know if the picks seem to make sense.
I mean, the thing is about the free agency and where they're spending money is it has to be on the line, on either side of the line, both sides of the line. But like, so
that's where we got to start. I don't want to hear anything else. Like,
this is the guard from Kansas City. He's supposed to be literally like one of the best guards there have ever been. Which I don't watch offensive lineman tape. I don't really know what makes a great guard or what a good tackle is.
You know what?
He looks like a mean motherfucker.
These two both look like I could fucking stand back there and throw some passes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like.
They look like mean ass. Like this dude specifically looks mean. I think is he the center? The guy from Atlanta? Isn't he the center?
Yes, he's the center.
Yeah, which would be great. And like solidifying that line, giving Caleb some time because like I think everyone knows Caleb. Okay, let's go back to Daniels. He's very good. Okay, there's no question about it.
It's hard to deny after watching him beat the Lions. Like you really got to say like I think we're both on the fence. Like we drafted the Chicago tried to have this defense mechanism. Like we drafted him, we probably would have stuck to in this situation. It kind of looks like Jaden Daniels is just legit.
Yeah, he looks really.
He probably would have done better than Caleb. But potentially.
But exactly. So here's the thing though, is that you have to give Caleb the opportunity to literally be him.
Yeah.
You have to. Mm-hmm. No excuses. Like you hire Ben Johnson who's supposed to be an offensive visionary, and we know we need another running back. Mm-hmm. If he brings that offense that he had from Detroit, which was high powered, which another thing people aren't talking about is that Detroit plays indoors.
Yeah.
Which I'm just saying,
and that was a knock on Detroit for a little while. This year it didn't pan out. Detroit played just fine in the elements.
But I'm just saying though, Chicago does play outdoors currently. Mm-hmm. But so I actually just thought about something I had. If the Bears have success, they will build a dome with Ben Johnson.
I mean, they're going to build a dome regardless. I believe.
It just makes more sense. But anyways, we know that Ben Johnson needs personnel to run his offense that he wants to run, and I think part of that is 2 premier running backs too, which I don't know what Swift is. I mean, yeah, right.
I don't think you need 2 premier running backs.
Well, Monty and Gibbs.
Just because
both Thunder and Lightning.
Just because you have them doesn't mean he needs them.
I think it helps.
But anyway, to your point though, giving Caleb the best opportunity, because in my mind we needed to figure out, I don't believe Caleb Williams is a bust, but that is being floated out there, and I think we need to know sooner rather than later. Because if we're dealing with a situation where we're spending the next 2 years being well, Caleb, we just still haven't gotten all the pieces together, and he has his best year in the last year of his contract, and then we got to pay him because he had 1 good year at the tail end. Mm-hmm. That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I guess the worst case scenario is him never having a good year, but I think we need to figure out right now. Give him everything he needs, give him all the opportunity to succeed, and if he doesn't, knowing that we need to move on at the end of this period of time.
It feels very much like that scenario that you just described sounds very much like the Trevor Lawrence trajectory.
Exactly.
Generational talent, shitty first year, new head coach. Yeah. Does decent.
Just
enough to get a $50 million contract.
Yeah.
And now you're locked up with Trevor Lawrence.
It's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, and Trevor Lawrence is a very mid quarterback. He's not going to win you. It doesn't feel like he's going to win you a Super Bowl. He's better than most backups. Mm-hmm. He's better than most quarterbacks, but he's just mid. No Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Just saying.
What do we have up next here?
Oh.
Patriots have 4 previous head coaches. So
You wanted to bring this one up, yeah. I guess that we can talk about the Bears coordinators that they hired too after this as well, which is interesting. Yeah. So here, our boy Thomas Brown, former head coach,
former Bears coach. This is really generous. Who's Doug Marrone?
I don't know. Now I'm looking at him.
And Josh McDaniels, the only place he ever had success was the Patriots
as offensive coordinator.
Yes.
And what is he doing again?
Offensive coordinator for the Patriots.
This is his 3rd stint as the offensive coordinator for the Patriots.
And this is his first stint without Brady. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
He's got Drake May though.
I think they're gonna be bad.
I like Mike Vrabel though. He was always my favorite pick for it.
We'll see.
All right, let's talk about the Bears signings that they've had. So, do you have the picture?
I don't have.
You don't have the picture of Declan Doyle.
Declan Boyle.
Doyle.
Is it Doyle?
Doyle.
Double D?
Yeah.
Declan.
I like the name Declan, honestly. Yeah. So Declan was born...
Hi guys, I'm Declan.
Declan was born in 1996, I think.
Yeah.
We're both
28 years old.
Yeah, 28 years old. So I'm a 90s baby. He's a 91 baby.
I'm gonna start my criticism right now. Is like, why the fuck is a brand new head coach hiring an offensive coordinator who's 28 years old?
So I mean, let's just call it what it is. He's not really the offensive coordinator.
I suppose you're right.
Ben Johnson's the offensive coordinator. Ben Johnson is the guy who my thought was he's building his coaching tree.
Maybe. I mean, you know what? Like the guys like Sean McVay got their start early.
He wants to build his coaching tree.
But like, can a guy like this inspire DJ Moore and Keenan Allen?
DJ Moore beats his own motherfucking drum. That homie don't care.
I don't know, man.
His body language is so poor.
Point of skepticism number 1. Put it on the fucking wall. 28-year-old offensive coordinator. Put it on the wall. When we're sitting here next year after a 5-12 season, we're gonna review these. We're gonna review these.
John,
list here.
John, if we go 5-12 next year, I don't even know.
We will be reviewing the wall, which says didn't do offensive line. 28-year-old head coach, offensive coordinator.
But here's the thing that I have heard about Declan, about Mr. Doyle here. Mr. Doyle was absolutely adored by Sean Payton.
Okay.
And Sean Payton is a very well-respected head coach in the NFL. He is, like, Sean Payton spoke so highly of Mr. Declan Doyle that he was a sought-out after coach.
I don't like the name Declan Doyle.
Don't like Double D, huh? Declan's on the shit list.
Yeah, Declan Doyle.
Okay, so Declan is not good. We're really swearing a lot on the spot.
Declan Doyle.
Let's go over another a DA. Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen.
Who actually I do like. This dude is a ferocious mofo. This guy knows how to run a defense. Okay. He loves to blitz. He's a scary man. He's a very good DA. Or DC, should I say. He's the former head coach of New Orleans Saints, and he's been named defensive coordinator. That is a great hire. That is an unbelievable hire. Did you see Matt Eberflus? You see where he went?
He went to the Cowboys.
Cowboys!
We play, I believe. Is that correct?
Good for him. I think he's a great defensive coordinator. Flus, wishing the best of luck. What are you going to do with that home you have up there?
You going to keep the haircut? Dude, what if we just go straight mullet? Buzz cut?
I love it. Anyway, so Dennis Allen, great head coach. I guess the special teams coordinator is Richard Hightower, which actually I thought was interesting. Same guy. Yeah. So how do you completely remove all of your head coaching? But I feel like it's like common that the special teams coordinator gets to keep his job. Like it's not. I've heard that before.
To me, it's Ben Johnson just being like special teams, fucking fine.
Dude, special teams are so important.
You're right.
Dude, special teams win games. Yeah. The reason why the Patriots were so successful, in my opinion, they won all 3 facets of the game.
I know you said that. I think you're overselling it a little bit.
No, I am not.
Here's the thing: is like you need to be locked in on special teams, and that is coaching. Like you can't make silly mistakes on special teams.
Dude, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's when the mistakes occur.
Yes.
That is special teams is when a block punt or missed field goal or onside kick, like and boneheaded plays on kickoff plays are the most frustrating things in the world. Like dropping a punt, Velus Jones. Come on. Yeah. Come on. What a great pick. Great pick. Anyway, so he's staying here. And then this is another good one to talk about that I'm very curious about. The assistant head coach and wide receivers coach, Antoine Randall. Let's go.
Randall. I mean, I think this just kind of like highlights like our age. 45 years old. Like we watched this guy play. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
Yeah, he's so do you remember what's his name used to give us stories about Antoine Randall?
Who?
Navarro. He went to Thornton.
Did he really?
Yeah, dude.
And so Navarro did play against him?
No, coached against him. Yeah, dude.
I don't remember this at all.
You don't remember?
What did Navarro used to say about him?
He's just crazy. They used to run the double option with him. Dude was insane. So he played quarterback in high school.
Oh, you're right. I do remember
You do remember now, right? They used to run the double option.
Did Antoine Randall have a stint with the Bears?
I don't know. But I do know that I saw him on Hard Knocks. Oh, he's playing quarterback here. I didn't know he went to Indiana. Look at this dude. Whoop. Wow, that's like very
Hoosier?
Very Mike Vick-esque.
Is he a Hoosier?
Yeah, it's
those don't look like the Hoosier jerseys.
I mean, this is...
He played quarterback in college and then became a good wide receiver?
Yeah. Dude,
that's crazy.
Those are the athletes, man.
Yeah.
Charlie Ward...
You don't see that anymore, though.
Charlie Ward did the same thing. Remember Charlie Ward?
I don't.
Oh, actually, Charlie Ward went to go play basketball for the New York Knicks, the Knickerbockers. Anyway, so assistant head coach, too, which is interesting, also brought his boy over from Detroit as well. I do want to mention that.
Who is that?
Antoine Randall.
Oh, yeah.
He was from Detroit.
He's going to be the assistant head coach. Is that
that's
correct? Okay.
And the last one is J.T. Barrett. So he also came over from the Lions as well. J.T. Barrett was I think he won a national championship with the Ohio State Buckeyes. Never really was able to make it in the league, but word on the street is J.T. Barrett is a phenomenal not a quarterback whisperer, but he gets on the level of the quarterback and can really relate to him and does a great job. People rave on him. They're actually very high on him as a coach, which is great.
30.
Yeah, I think he won a national championship, if you want to check.
J.T. Barrett. All-American honors. Undrafted free agent.
Oh, maybe he didn't win
he played college football, earning third-team All-American honors.
Yeah, dude. He's maybe he didn't win. I thought he won a national championship. Whatever. Anyway, so from the outside looking in, minus our boy Double D, Declan, seems like a pretty good coaching staff.
What makes you say that?
Well, Dennis Allen, love that.
The Saints were good this year. It took them. I heard them talking on the radio because I'm not going to pretend to know everything about the defensive coordinators for other teams, but it took a couple of years for him to. I mean, he kind of hovered around the top 10. It took him a couple of years to get the personnel in place.
But the personnel is in place for the Bears. The defense isn't the defense is not the problem for the Bears. The defense has never been the problem for the Bears.
After Flus left, I do feel like the defense fell off heavily.
Well, that's why we brought back in a legitimate DC.
Yeah. Which,
okay.
Yeah, I really do think that the
defense is there.
I hope so. No, I mean we need an edge. Our interior sucks. Who is Jaquan Brisker still alive?
That's a great question.
Yeah, like the secondary definitely has some holes.
They're good.
We're more than a couple of coaches away from being a complete team. So we're gonna have to see what happens next with when is free agency? The free agency was wild last year. Remember everything that came out in that one day? Like when free agency opens up.
It's so confusing.
I feel like it was March.
It is March 12th actually.
March 12th. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's the day to circle in the calendar is day.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's close to. We're about to. Dude, January felt like flew by. It's unbelievable. We're already 1 month into 2025.
I disagree.
You disagree?
January. These days slog, man.
But you can't believe it's literally January's already over. We're 1/12 of the way over. I
guess you're right.
1/12 of the year just gone, down and dusted.
Down and dusted.
As Leon Hasby would say.
Yeah. Hate the winter. I hate February. Is gonna be worse. February.
28 days. No
March is gonna suck.
Well, we get President's Day in February. We got the Super Bowl in February, and then before you know it, it's March. It's daylight to sunset at 5:02 today.
Oh God, when does March Madness start? I just
probably in March.
I just made March. because I don't know if I should have scheduled myself off. I didn't want to do that. I know I did that last year because I love the first 2 days of March Madness. I think are my favorite like sports.
It is the 18th. 19th is the first round. It's first four. So first round starts.
The first four is whatever.
20th and 21st.
20th and 21st.
Yes.
I really hope I'm off those days. Are they Saturday, Sunday?
They're Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday.
And then second round Saturday, Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Did you see Easter this year?
No.
Same Greek.
Yeah.
Greek and
Orthodox
and real Easter.
And real Easter both the same day. Never been a big Easter guy.
Dude, what are you talking about? That's sarcasm as fuck.
What?
You've never been a big Easter guy?
No, not really.
Dude, your Greek Easter's like...
I mean, yeah, they were big. I'm the one hosting it. I'm not the one orchestrating that.
Figured...
Not a big lamb guy.
I mean, dude...
That's fine.
You're not scoring points with the Greeks right now, man. The Orthodox community.
They probably feel the same way. Maybe not. Probably not.
Probably not.
But yeah.
Anything else? What about Super Bowl prediction? Give me a Super Bowl prediction before you bounce.
I think it's gonna be close because we haven't had a blowout Super Bowl in a couple of years, which is suspicious. You know, the last blowout was the last one that I can remember was against the Chiefs. Brady against the Chiefs.
Was it really?
Yes, that was not a close game. That's the last not close Super Bowl I can remember.
Okay.
Where it didn't really feel like it was ever really in question. I think it'll be close. I think the Eagles will win. I don't think NFL gives a shit about whether or not Patrick Mahomes gets a three-peat.
Okay.
But he's in the big game. People are going to be watching. So,
yeah.
That's my prediction. I'm going to say 24-18.
Okay, so the over doesn't hit.
What's the over-under?
48.5.
No, I'll take the under on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Life's too short to bet the under, John.
That's what I would guess. Yeah.
I'm gonna take an absolute blowout from the KC. Let's say they win by 8 points in the overhits.
KC. Oh wow. So they're winning by more than a score.
Yep.
Okay.
By 8 points.
I say there's probably gonna be a backdoor cover on that. Then I think this game is like one score through most of the fourth quarter.
How about I want to. Does one of these three things occur? A safety?
No.
A missed extra point?
Yes.
And then a failed 2-point conversion?
Yes. I'd say two of those three.
Two out of three?
I'd say two of those three things occur.
Yeah, it's always the Super Bowl always has weird ass.
But
stuff.
that just happens a lot more now. I just feel like there are more missed extra points.
I think it's all for the squares.
I think so too.
I think the NFL does it intentionally for the squares. And then here's another fun fact: Jake Elliott is kicking for the Eagles. Do you know where Jake Elliott went to high school?
No.
LT, not.
I did know that.
Not Lane Tech, Lions Township.
Yes.
And so Jake Elliott is like 40 years old, and dude, he is washed.
40 years old.
He's not. Maybe he's not 40. He's washed though, man. He's missed a lot of extra points. Hang on, how many extra point ICP did Jake Elliott miss this year? I just want to put it out there for people that know. He's missed 2 extra points in the playoffs so far this year. Well, that was just in one game.
I think that actually screwed me too, because then the Rams ended up not cover, or the Eagles ended up not covering because he missed that extra point.
Yeah, so just saying, he missed 3 during the regular season and 2 against the Rams. Just putting it out there so you guys know, Jake Elliott is a little washed. Bet it if you can. That's all I got.
No, I agree. That makes sense to me. But I think the Eagles win. I think they run all over it. I think it's a slow game. I don't think there's a lot of turnovers. I think they're going to play pretty tight.
I'm looking forward to it, though.
Yeah.
I want to see Barkley get in the end zone twice.
I say he gets in the end zone twice. I'd bet that.
We have.
Yeah, the line is probably 1.5 touchdowns.
Dude, the line. I bet you 2 touchdowns is going to yield you. It's like minus 110.
Probably. Yeah. Gambling is bad, also.
Dude, so bad.
Don't gamble.
I know.
It's bad for you.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Maybe I can just like the game for the game. Actually, I do. I still honestly like. Sometimes I just don't even look at my bets. Like I'll make them, but like I enjoy the game stuff.
I want to close out with a bad take that I heard on the radio. I think it was, I want to say it was Sylvie, on ESPN 1000, who when the Chiefs ended up not covering against, who was it, with the intentional safety, and then the Chiefs ended up not covering because of it.
When was that?
You remember, like, so they took the safety intentionally.
What game?
It was like the second round of the playoffs. It took the safety intentionally, and it was a play that made sense.
Okay.
But they ended up not covering because of it.
Okay.
And Joe Buck said something along the lines of like, "Oh, that's going to be really important to some people," just like a little.
Oh yeah,
hint,
I do remember this. Now,
and a little hint. And then Sylvia's thing was just like, ESPN has a gambling app. Why don't they just say it? Make the fans more engaged, because obviously people care about it. And I'm just like, I don't want them to like. Fine, talk about it in the post game.
Don't normalize.
But in the moment, just like openly talking about gambling.
Yeah, don't normalize.
Yeah, like I mean, whatever.
Well, no, it is.
It's going on, and I guess you should call a spade a spade. Like it's what's happening, but it just like.
My son is.
This is my old man shaking out my fist at the clouds.
No, my son's getting a little older, and like I don't want like they don't need to literally throw it right down your face.
Yeah.
Like it's like gambling is like. I don't want to say like where I'm going on another tangent here. Like the millennials have the benefit of like having internet and growing up with the internet, like not having it initially, they know how to use it, right? That whole concept. Like I'm happy that like gambling came so predominant in my 30s.
Yeah.
And not when I was younger.
Yeah, like I wasn't at a bar at 18. Like
exactly.
Like being like, oh, I'm gonna put $50 on this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it came
because it's just like whatever. It's something you do because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah. It doesn't. But dude, I can see how people get addicted.
100%.
And like when you're young and like impressionable.
Yeah.
Like and it's there in your face. Like we don't need this.
And like for the same reason, announcers aren't saying things like, oh, I bet they're gonna get shit-faced after the game, and you can't like all the beer commercials, but they're not allowed to show someone actually taking a sip of a beer.
Really?
Yeah, you notice that? You never notice that?
No.
Watching beer commercials, you will never see someone actually drink the beer.
Well, it's like you can't see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like, I mean, and that's kind of like whatever hand wavy type of stuff, but it's just like, yeah, like a 9-year-old watching the football game can't gamble in the football game, nor should you want them to know about it.
Here's the thing, dude. My son drives past an orange store. You know what he says?
What?
Home Depot.
Home Depot.
My son drives past a red store. Guess what he says?
Target.
Okay. They condition these like, dude. They're so impressed. I never realized it.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I never realized it. So we don't need it.
Yeah.
It's a bad take.
It's a bad take.
Bad take.
That's what I got. All right. Anything else to close out on?
I got my tinfoil hat on way too hard today.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We're both the old men shaking to the clouds. Like these changes.
Are we the old? No, I like changes, but like you also have to think about what they mean. The ramifications.
That's what I'm
there
saying.
are ramifications for your actions. Yeah. Are we the old men now? Did we cross that bridge?
Oh, absolutely. There's been a couple of times recording this podcast where I could just feel myself, like if someone like 10 years younger than us being like, whatever, you losers. I got this wicked parlay cooked up. I like doing, like, you can't tell me that I like doing it. I'm just enjoying the game, like, whatever. Like,
but most people don't make it this far anyways.
That's true. That's true. Do you gamble? Do you think that if you were to ask me, I would say get rid of the gambling apps. And as someone who uses them, and you know I'm such a hypocrite, I would just say just get rid of the gambling apps.
No, you don't get rid of them. But
just if you could ask me, button right here, get rid of the gambling apps. Gambling is no longer legal in the way that it is right now. I'd press the button.
So another thing I'll tell you really quick about the gambling. So like this is like investing related. Like I never got in on DK. Okay, like DraftKings. Like I kind of like regretted it because I like loved the concept. But like what I did realize is I have a substantial stake in Disney.
Yeah.
Disney owns.
Do they own DraftKings?
ESPN.
Interesting. Oh, okay.
And ESPN has Bet ESPN.
Yeah.
So essentially, I have the investment within. So here's what I'm saying:
six people own the entire world.
But if people that own Disney probably don't realize that they have like literally one of the largest gambling sports sites out there.
I don't think it would bother people who owns Disney though.
But you're basically investing in gambling, which is essentially a sin. It's not a sin, but it's I would. I don't think. I
would
put it up there with.
I don't think the Bible says
tobacco.
anything about investing in Disney.
With gambling though, I'm saying, but people don't want to invest in like Anheuser-Busch. They want to invest in Altria. They don't want to invest in Philip Morris because they're sins, right?
Sure.
Why isn't gambling considered that too?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Right, but Disney, a wholesome company.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse, here we come. Walt Disney on the fields.
Is Minnie Mouse Mickey Mouse's wife, girlfriend, or sister?
Gotta be a wife.
I
Gotta be.
I was taking care of a 3-year-old, and she was wearing Minnie Mouse, And I said, "Oh, who is this?" And the little girl goes, "It's Mickey Mouse." I go, "No, this is Minnie Mouse." And I go, "Mickey Mouse's girlfriend?" And the dad goes, "I thought it was his sister."
No.
And I'm like, "Definitely not sister."
No.
But I guess like there's no way that they were probably romantic in some sort of capacity.
Oh, here we go.
What do we got?
Minnie Mouse is not married, but she's the girlfriend of
There you
Mickey
go, girlfriend.
Mouse.
Okay. Sister didn't seem to make a lot of sense.
In some movies, the two are married, but in others, they are not.
So it's questionably canon whether or not they're married.
Wow.
But not sister. Okay.
Definitely not sister. No,
I mean, I think they're kind of supposed to be portrayed as kind of young. I think it'd be kind of weird for them to be married.
they're mice. You can tell the age of a mouse.
If you're still watching, you're a real one.
Oh my god.
Bears fans talk. Making videos whenever.
This is off-season content right here.
Bears fans, we're making videos whenever we feel like it. Talking about things we do.
Pop and Pop Shop.
Goblins. See you guys next week. Peace.
What the fuck? What an episode, man.